I think I'm gonna invite Colin Mitchell up to the microphone next. I'm going to resist the urge to try and tell a few jokes myself. I'll wait until later on when you've all had a few more drinks, I think. So Colin's going to read out some great poetry tonight. A round of applause for Colin, please. This makes better, Colin.
Good evening. Good evening. That's better. That's better. Right. I've been here for a few of these open mics, and they're now used to my poetry, should I say. With tonight being Halloween, I've got 4 little pieces here that are all about Halloween. It's nice to have some new ears tonight, so like there's people here that won't have heard this lot before. Just to start you off, a little something that I did for a nursing home for them to stick up on the door. It's called simply Beware. It's Halloween, and all the creatures of the dark are coming out to play again, to have a laugh and lark. They'll frighten all the children and watch them run away. Stay at home and stay indoors, come back another day. And as these ghouls and ghosts abound, mankind should be afraid of all the tricks and evil deeds these wicked creatures played. Stay safe until the sun comes up and darkness flees the scene, chases all these creatures back to where they've always been. Thank you. Halloween is something that's meant to be frightening, but sometimes you've got to think, where is the fear really? Is it something physical, or is it something in the mind? Now, as you can tell, my accent isn't local. I'm a Cornishman, and there's a place down in Cornwall called Bodmin Moor, and it's renowned to have a beast. This is called the Beast of Bodmin Moor. 'Tis night, and shapes of rock and tree change in imagination as mist and fog roll ever on, fill land with trepidation. For what's unseen and only heard feeds man's thoughts unbound, plays tricks on senses heightened here, brings threat to every sound. Deathly mist begins to fall, its journey at an end, but whence it came nobody knows. Through flesh its shivers send. 'Tis thicker now than e'er before, and shrouded in its fold, man feels the icy, sodden touch turn heart and limbs to cold. And numbness sets the mind away on journey dark and fraught. Imagination fills the brain with terrifying thought. A sound rides in on wafted wind, an eerie, chilling moan. Is there black magic in its voice which finds man all alone? A devilish sound, it rises high and fills the air of night, but senses cannot track it down. Thoughts turn to headlong flight. But into what? The mist so thick that nothing's here be seen, and marrow's chilled to freezing point. A man can only scream. This hellish place, now peril-filled, appears to be the last that man will see upon this earth, where he will breathe his last. Another sound, a cracking twig, spins man around alarmed, and dreadful things fill every thought, the mind already harmed. Witches, warlocks, beasts, and all the evil of this place now enter into fearful sense. Heart hammers at a pace. Streaming tears fall ever down his visage panic-stricken. Does he, by fate or destiny, fall foul of local Wiccan? Then moan returns to haunt again and pierces racing mind. There's no way out of living hell, there's no escape to find. Darker, damper, colder now, sounds heightened to a roar. A growl so fierce seems everywhere, chills man to very core. The shriek of swooping feathered fiend, a rustle to the left, finds man full flat upon the ground, of common sense bereft. A silent prayer, unheard by all, escapes such trembling lips. As evil ever closer comes, he into darkness slips. Don't go to Bodmin Moor in the dark. Right, Halloween, the end. Up and out for evening walk, I see the mist. There's always mist, isn't there, on Halloween? I see the mist enshroud the scene as if the world had died tonight, the one they call All Hallows Eve. Dripping leaves are all I hear, and nothing of this world I see within this swirling, clinging fog surrounding, filling, choking me. A soft but chilling breeze I feel as into vaporous veil I peer, but nothing stirs except the mist, my heavy footsteps all I hear. And deep within my mind there grows this dreaded sense of being lost, not knowing now the path I tread, or even yet the coming cost. Such shadows form upon the mist, approaching stumbling steps I hear. An odour penetrates my head as my heart turns to ice with fear. What foul fiend comes ever near, its footsteps shuffling yards away? I cannot breathe a single breath, the smell is one of rank decay. Yet still this mist keeps all from view. To penetrate its shroud I try, and standing, rooted to the ground, convinced that am I that I'm to die. So slowly comes this evil thing, at last a figure I perceive. My stomach lurches at the sight, to God I beg my soul receive. My blood has turned to ice, and I, when it draws near, no movement make. And as I stand prepared to die, it reaches out my life to take. And finally, for your delectation tonight, this one is simply called All Hallows Eve. There's a little bit of history in this. Mystery and myth abound tonight as darkness falls around, and only fools would venture out to walk near hallowed ground. Tradition steeped in Celtic tales when harvest time has passed, of how the dead return to earth, the living to harass. The veil twixt earth and underworld grows thin this time of year, and spirits of departed ones return again, I fear. So as the daylight fades away, another world awakes, breaks loose from death's tight bonds to rise, and from the ground it breaks. Ghosts and spectres and evil dead come crawling from the graves to seek out living souls to take, for that's what each one craves. They're joined by other creatures which bring terror to the land. Witches and warlocks casting spells will join this eerie band. You hear an eerie moaning sound. It's zombies in the street, terrifying all of us, shuffling tattered feet. With just a touch they'll take your soul, and you will join the clan of decomposing evil fiends to seek another man. If you, perchance, from these escape, as from the scene you flee, there's other foul things abroad, all those that used to be. The cracking of a graveyard slab allows such creatures who were till now trapped far below, they're coming after you. The spiders race across the ground, a living feast to find, and having stunned their victim well, its form in silk they bind. And snakes, which slither, hiss, and bite, now free to roam the land, are you prepared to stand and fight before they're out of hand? Or will you turn, prepare to run from weeping angels too, who move when you don't look at them, then stand in front of you? There's no escape from evil things. They're here to harvest souls. You'll be yet another one they take to darkest holes, and there you'll meet the gatekeeper. His rancid face you'll see, the dripping skin, the bulging eyes, a vision of debris. Your path to hell is now assured. You enter lifelong sleep until the next All Hallows Eve, when from the ground you'll creep. Thank you very much.